Greetings and welcome to Magic with Tamala Farron. Many blessings on this All Hallows Eve. Today I think we'll start off with a ghost story. I have been blessed in my family to hear these come down the line. And when I was a very little girl, about 4 or 5 years old, I can remember my meme pulling me into her lap and saying, "Now we'll talk of the ancestors." And my Aunt Yvonne, when she was a little girl, it's time for bed, and my grandmother, my meme, tucked her in and gave her a kiss on the forehead and said, "Good night, dear. Have a good sleep." And my aunt was about 4 or 6 years old. I'm not sure exactly how old at this point. Small enough not to be as intimidated as or scared as a older child of maybe 10 would be. She had curiosity. And she turned over and she started to go to sleep. And her blankets got pulled off. And she looked up, and there was an older woman sitting on the end of her bed. And this woman said in French, "Go get your mother." And my Aunt Yvonne said, "Who are you?" She said, "Go get your mother. You need to go get your mother now." And my Aunt Yvonne got up, walked carefree down the hallway, knocked on my grandparents' door and said, "Mama, there's a woman in my room that says I have to get you. You have to come with me." So my meme got up, walked into the bedroom, wasn't sure what to think of her daughter at the moment, looked around, didn't see anybody, and said, "Honey, you were dreaming. Go to sleep." Tucked her back in. Walked back to her bedroom and said there was just something wrong with this. About half hour later, my aunt was back at her door. "Mama, there's a woman that says you have to come. You have to be there. You have to talk to her." So this time my meme walked her back, sat down, there was still nobody else in the room, and said, "Okay, what did this woman look like?" So my aunt sat there on the edge of the bed and started to describe her. Long, grayish white hair, in a nightie, a white nightie down to the floor, and the one thing that got her was that she kept saying, "Dorothea." And my meme said, "Why are you saying Dorothea?" She says, "Well, that's what she called you." My meme put her head down, said, "This was an older woman, correct?" She said, "Yes." So she started asking her specifics. she found out that she spoke only French. She found out that she walked in her bare feet. My Mimi went back into her bedroom, turned to my Pepe and said, "My mother's dead." My Pepe looked at her and said, "You don't know that." She said, "The daughter that we have that's in the room down the hall described my mother to a T. She's never met her." My great Mimi lived in Boston, Massachusetts, and my Aunt Yvonne and my family were living in Wheatley, Ontario. Their kids had never seen my Mimi, my great Mimi or great Pippi. So, and they didn't have a phone, which didn't help. But about an hour later, after finally getting settled back into bed, there was a knock at the front door. It was the neighbor down the road. He said that my grandmother had to come. There was a phone call that she had to return. Her mother had just passed. My Pepe looked at her and said, "I'm not surprised in this family anymore. You can't surprise me." And that was one of the many stories that have been handed down or told in my family. So, on this night of connecting with your ancestors, and tomorrow, remember, they always come around. Paying attention, especially to children. You might be surprised at what you hear. I was really thrilled as a child to know that my Mimi was good enough to actually listen, not just brush her off and ignore her. I never did that to my kids. I listened to everything. Like I said, the ancestors are close. And since it's All Hallows Eve, I'm going to do a 3-card reading. Tomorrow I'll do a full reading. That was the card. Okay. The first card is Rebirth. In this card, I see like a phoenix, you rising out of the ashes. There is a past that you've created in the last year or two that I feel there's a lot of change, a lot of decisive life changes that have come across and have billowed you into a new person. And this rebirth is you rising in the new year, rising as a new person spiritually and physically and emotionally. And this is been so strong on your journey as of late. This next one is nature spirits. This, your connection to the earth has been building, and it kind of coincides with this card. But your connection is not just to spirit or to ancestors, it's to nature itself. And you are connecting to spirits like of trees and of plants, and you're literally feeling the gifts that are being given by them. You are being given wisdom that you're allowing to penetrate your very soul. You have so much that you are gifting in kindness and energy that you don't realize that it's being gifted back to you double fold by all of nature herself. You have a lot of things that are being answered and being filtered through, and within the next couple of months you're going to see a lot of changes that you've been creating in the last year or so out of the ashes that you are going to expand on. There are things that you've learned and things that you are in the process of learning that are going to assist you with this. And I think that you have a very magical circle that is continuously connecting you with nature. And you're going to have more people coming into your life that are going to assist you with this. I think a lot of the things that you've been just touching, just working a little bit on, are going to explode around you into a whole new outlook for you. Things that have been in your past are coming back, but in a different way. Things that are in your life now that are new are going to carry you through. And this one is protection. You have answers to certain questions coming through tonight. You have so many surrounding you at this point. You need to listen. You need to listen carefully. The ancestors aren't the only ones that are coming by. I'm feeling a very strong connection with somebody that's passed recently. Somebody that you have similar connections, similar, I want to say personality or traits. And you're going to get the answers that you've been asking. This is a definite. So you have to really listen. You have to really pay attention to what's going on around you. This is not going to happen again. This is special because the thinning of the veil is going to allow more than usual to come through. I think you're going to do wonderful on this. Have a little faith in yourself. You have so much going for you. I have more videos coming up tomorrow. A couple on things that we do on Samhain, and another reading, a full reading this time, to help you through the next month or so, at least till Yule. And I would love to let you know that so many are guiding you tonight. Be strong. Be faithful in who you are. Believe in what you do. These 3 cards, this is just the beginning. You have so much to look forward to. Now that I've told my ghost story and I've given you a 3-card reading, I want you to be very, very open to anything that comes your path this evening. May you be blessed by the ancients. Walk with the old gods. This is sacred this time. Blessed All Hallows Eve, my lovelies. Please click like and subscribe. Blessed be. Sweet dreams.